What is up, everybody? It is John, and welcome to another Director's Cut. And this, my friends, is one of my favorite places I've ever been. And as always, I'm going to go ahead and say before, if you haven't seen this original video, please go to the link in the description and follow it there. If you're newer to the channel, you weren't around back then. This is a place known as Wicklin Plantation, and it's in Barberville, Kentucky. You know, this place was built pre-Civil War. It's a very, very old plantation style home, so it does have some sensitive history, but it is also very haunted on different levels. This is what I will say, this is probably the most active place I've ever been. This is my friend Whitney from Wit's Life. I'll link her channel down below. She hooked me up with this place. It's awesome. I can't even. I've been there twice. I've filmed there 2 times, and both times it was just absolutely incredible. Beautiful home. Again, you know, it has a history that I don't really want to get into, but we all know kind of what happened at these places. So, but from my understanding, it wasn't like a situation where people were treated negatively. I mean, okay, it's hindsight, you know, but I don't know for sure, but according to historians, it was a pleasant place to be in service at. We'll just use that term. Regardless of that, there is a lot of residual energy in this place. It comes to life. It's like you can just sit there and listen to all the people working. It's pretty incredible, honestly, to hear. I actually, not here, but I actually got to spend an entire night there at one point. And let me tell you, it was hard to sleep due to all the activity going on in this place. I don't know what floor we're on. I think we're on the 2nd floor right here. There's 4 levels. There's the basement, there's the main level, then there's the 2nd floor and 3rd floor. 3rd floor is where you hear a lot of stuff happen from. Sounds like things on the 2nd and 1st floor are just going insane. It really does. But you know, this is a long video too. I'm gonna go ahead and say there's a lot for me to cover in this. So yeah, I'm gonna have to just figure out how to ramble some, but it is a long video, and if you hear a lawnmower in the background, it seems that every time I go to record something, someone around the neighborhood decides they want to start mowing the lawn, and or the dogs will start barking downstairs. So if you hear that bleed through, just ignore it. I'm a real person. I don't have a leased studio. My studio's a little room upstairs in my house. So, I'm at the mercy of people and things around me. So, this is when I had a chance to do it, and it just so happens, as soon as I started, someone fired up a lawnmower. I could have waited till this afternoon, and they probably would have fired it up then. Anyways, I still have the black device, the little meter thing that says ghost meter. I don't have that anymore. I think I gave that to someone else. But I still have the black one. I don't use it anymore. I need to use it because it has an audible sound that comes out of it, and it's good to set somewhere and just kind of leave it and see what happens. And that thing, it's hard to set off. It really is. It don't just false alarm, I tell you that. Funny story though about Whitney. The first time we ever filmed a video, it was a group of us. If you guys remember, she lives in the Louisville, Kentucky area, And I have a friend up there. I consider him a friend. I hadn't talked to him in years. But Vinny, if you guys been around for a while, you remember Vinny. And I was up there with Vinny one weekend, or during the week, whenever, and we decided to go out filming one night. And Whitney had commented on a live stream, and I was like, I've seen your channel. She has cystic fibrosis, and she's very open about it, so I don't care to say it. So I was like, yeah, meet up with us, It's a group setting, so her and her boyfriend came. Or no, it wasn't her boyfriend first time, it was her and one of her friends. So we all went to the cemetery, and it was just too many people. So me and Vinny and her friend said, let's go over to a place called Hazelwood. And I think I've already done the director's cuts on Hazelwood, but man, that place is another one. It's like Waverly Hills, but it's the parent of Waverly Hills. It's a smaller hospital, but it was a tuberculosis sanitarium, and they had to build Waverly Hills because it wasn't meeting the needs. It was very haunted. It's gone now. They actually tore it down. There's no remnant of it anymore. But it was something pretty incredible to go into, and I'm glad I got a chance to. But I go there, I drive there by myself. Whitney and her friend shows up, and no one else. I don't know what happened to Vinny. He had a bunch of friends that got caught up in something. I don't know. He didn't show up. So it was just me and them two going in this abandoned building that's known for vagrants and aggressive people being around there. So we had to deal with that. But it was, she's like, I don't really believe in paranormal. I'm pretty skeptical. And I had already been in Hazelwood once with Vinny and his girlfriend at the time. And I knew there was some spooky stuff in there. At least the vibe of it just really would creep you out. And I know when I was in there with Vinny and his girlfriend at the time, she heard a woman humming. I kind of heard it, but I didn't know. You know what I mean? But I'm like, I'm curious to see if I get that residual. If that's a residual or an intelligent, or if it's just some noise in the building that we thought was that. So me and them two girls go in, and then I'm on edge because it's like, what if something goes down? Usually safety in numbers in places like that, but there's only 3 of us. And so like I'm on edge. But we get to the second, I can't remember if it's the second or third floor, where the humming had happened. And it happened. You hear this woman humming a tune. And you can go back to the video and watch it. It's pretty incredible. I'll link it as well. Down below. So, but she was convinced that I had Vinny and his girlfriend outside, like messing with them, or in there messing with them. And I'm like, no. I'm like, hit up Vinny, because she was friends with Vinny too. Just to know. And he's like, he confirmed with him, no, I got stuck here, and so did other people. It was confirmed that Vinny was not there messing with us. And we got several spooky responses. So she never wanted to do paranormal before, but ever since then she's been dead hooked on it. When we did Hazelwood, we've done other paranormal stuff, and she does it on her channel now. So it's kind of funny how completely like open towards it, like going but not believing, to now she's a full-on paranormal investigator. She has equipment of her own. She goes and investigates places on her own. So I find that very funny and cool that someone who likes to make weird faces at the camera for some reason, who has no belief in spooky paranormal, now has become like a hobbyist paranormal investigator. I like it. I think it's funny. I think it's awesome too. I don't think it's like, it's not like I'm making fun of or anything, but it's just cool to see that happen. Now, interesting story at the bottom of this staircase here. I think we're up on the 3rd floor now, or close to it, is where a child had fallen to its death. Don't really want to go too much detail about it. It's really sad. But, we're still on the 2nd floor, I see. About to go up to the 3rd floor because the child fell from this balcony. Either the 3rd floor or that landing there going to the 3rd floor. That wasn't clear. I don't think anyone really knows where he fell from now because it was back in 1800s when he fell. But he passed away on the floor down there. It's really sad. You lift the rug, you can see the floor at one point had to be repaired. So I want to tell y'all a funny story about this bathroom. Anyone who doesn't like hearing... Okay, well, first of all, let's let this part happen here, because this was a scary part, and we didn't figure out what was going on till later. I didn't notice and pay attention, neither did she. Or I can't remember if we figured it out in reveal or not. But anyways, we go into this bedroom here from this bathroom, because the bathroom comes from it connects to the hallway and one of the bedrooms upstairs. It was a really funny moment knowing that it was... Oh, maybe we don't go in there then. I don't know. But anyways, it scared Whitney so bad. It scared me too. This door that I'm looking at is on a spring. I didn't realize it. I didn't notice it. I wasn't paying attention. Now I think of it, you had to push it so it had pressure. But we go into that room and it slams. She just falls down, almost crying, scared so bad. It was pretty hilarious. You'll see. It's going. And then I'll tell you the story, the gross story about that bathroom. It was pretty funny. God, I forgot how long I take to go. I can't remember exactly. I know we heard stuff everywhere we went. We were in this room and there was some vibe there. And I don't know why I'm looking at toilet paper, but I am. I'm trying to be funny. You know, I try to be humorous sometimes. It's right here. You see me jump. And she's just, look at her. It winds up, the door's on a spring, and I thought it would stay open. And it just slammed shut. It scared the hell out of us. But anyway, so later on, I go back to this place, and she's there. And my friends from Brushy Mountain, End of Line Paranormal, Jamie and Courtney and them, they were there too. I wanted to bring them up here because, you know, they let me come into Brushy so much that, like, anytime I get a chance to take them somewhere they haven't been, I do. So we all went up, and Tim was with us. You know, I brought Tim back to this place, and she was there, and a few other people. And now this is gross. If you don't like hearing poop stories, then skip forward about 5 minutes. So I had to go. Okay, nature was calling, and so I'm like, I'm gonna go upstairs to that bathroom because it's still a working bathroom. And then there's another little bathroom downstairs, but it's right in the hallway where everybody's walking around. And I'm like, I don't want to stink that up. So I went upstairs to that bathroom. I do my business, and it was, you know, not good. It was one of them that stunk up the whole upstairs, you know. So I sneak through the bedroom. I don't come out in the hallway because I know people's up there. I sneak into the bedroom, and in this bedroom here, there's a set of stairs that goes down to the kitchen. So I went out and I went down the secret staircase to the kitchen. And at that moment, Tim went upstairs to go use that bathroom as well. Goes in. He opens that door and releases the phantom. We'll just say that. He releases the demon that I laid in there. as he comes out, everyone else is coming upstairs, so the blame got put on him. I never said anything. I thought it was hilarious. Everybody said, dude, did you smell what Tim did upstairs in that bathroom? Just lost it. I'm like, good. And that was payback for when he turned the heat up on me in that room. So yeah, that was my payback. But anyways, and in regards to Tim, if you're like, oh, where's he at and all that, go listen to my last director's cut. I talk about it in there. I don't want to get on that where everybody's like telling me to wish him well, because I can't. Obviously, just go listen to that. I'm not going to reiterate it again. Anyways, back to this. This night here, I mean, this place really won me over when it was just me and her there. It was the best. You know, of course, I didn't have all the equipment I have now, but you really don't need equipment in there. Like, you really don't. It makes itself known. I think it's a lot of residual. There is intelligent, especially in the basement, because, again, this is a sensitive topic. Something doesn't like me down there. There's this one room I go into, and things get thrown at me. I get a bad feeling. I don't feel well in there. I feel like something's trying to attack me. So I really get the feeling that I probably look like someone to this spirit, or built like them, or remind them of someone who is probably not very nice to them. Again, I'm not going to stretch details out here. It's a very sensitive subject, and that's what I believe. It's unfortunate, because I'm not like that. I'm a very nice guy. But, it's hard to understand the spirit realm, when you're not in your physical form anymore. Do you, what do you and don't you understand? To them, it might not even have anything to do with that. It might be that I'm entering this where the veil is thin, and they don't understand what or who I am. You know what I mean? So this is all part of that great mystery that we wonder about. Are we, is the spirit realm what we think it is? Is it someone we've lost, someone we've loved? Is it just the memory of them having a physical energy? Is it, I believe when you live somewhere and you're attached to something in life, your body is made up of just all kinds of energy. You have electrical pulses throughout your entire body. You have all this energy that keeps you alive, that keeps you moving, breathing. Your brain is nothing but electrical impulses. I mean, there's a lot to just living, just breathing. We put out this energy, and I believe when you're somewhere long enough, you leave a physical, like, energy imprint in this place. Like when you live in a house, you're going up and down stairs all the time. You walk the same path every day. You do all these things that are habit, that are routine, and you're slowly, like, programming your energy into this. So when you're not there, you leave traces of your energy behind that sometimes, like, say, you lived in the same house for 30 years, 40 years, and you literally got up and did the same thing every morning. You went in the bathroom, brushed your teeth, and, little sounds you made, those might still be around. The sound of you walking through, the imprint you leave on the flooring as you walk around the house, that might still be there. And you leave these traces of energy behind, and later on, it just stays there for a long time, forever, because you've kind of burned that imprint. And, like, I use the example like a memory card, like what I use every day when I film. the components of that memory card is made from natural elements of the earth, right? Metals, different metals and elements from the earth. It's what stores your memory is comprised of that. So that's why it's believed a lot when you're in places with high conductive energy. Oh yeah, I remember this. The door was kind of latched and locked. It didn't want to open. That was scary. Especially buildings that are set on limestone, such as Wicklin is. A lot of places are made from limestone, and I think that harnesses a lot of your energy and allows it, under the right circumstances, under the right conditions, to emit that energy you've left behind. Now, that's just a theory I have, and I know I'm not the only one with that theory. I'm just, that's just, I feel like that's a lot, especially residual hauntings. Now, intelligent hauntings is a whole different story. They're kind of scary. I personally believe, when you pass on, you move on. Now, does that mean you can't get stuck? No, I don't know that, I believe you move on. I believe your spirit, you find out what the great mystery of life is. You move on, whether we're in a simulation or we're going to go to heaven or hell or wherever we go. I believe we find that out when we pass away. Either that, or some believe that maybe we just don't exist until a certain time, until it's time for us to exist again. You know what I mean? Not to try to use religion, but the Christianity as an example, you have where the belief system is when you die, you go to heaven or hell. Some interpret the Bible as saying that you just go into a sleep. You just basically, it's nothing until it's time for the rapture, and then that's when you come back. That's when you rise and you go and ascend into heaven. I don't know. No, I have no idea. So let me know what your thoughts are. Without getting preachy and hating on people. Because one thing that really bothers me is I appreciate all comments, right? I appreciate all beliefs. No matter what your religion or non-religion, whatever it is your beliefs, I appreciate and respect that. One thing that really irks me is the comments that, on one hand, they're telling me I'm going to hell because I'm a paranormal investigator. That kind of stuff, that's not up to you, to determine that. I don't like it. If you want to quote a Bible verse or something, fine, go for it. I appreciate all that. But the hellfire brimstone stuff, that kind of, if you're trying to be a light to someone, you yelling at them and telling them they're going to hell is not the way to do it. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you turn off way more people than you're going to win over. You're trying to use scare tactics. You're trying to scare people into believing what you believe, and that's not the way to do it. If you want to, be a light to someone, you need to be a light. You need to be an example. You need to show compassion and love like Jesus did, not "you're gonna burn in hell, you stupid sinner," and just yell at people. That's not how you do it. You probably need to point the finger back at yourself before you start doing that if you're that kind of person. I'm just being honest. You're pushing more people away than you're gonna win over. Jesus didn't yell at people. He didn't tell people they're going to hell. He showed compassion and love to some of what people considered the worst people of the time. He put himself amongst them to be an example amongst them. And that's how you do it. Anyways, enough of that. I'm not religious. I'm not getting into a religious conversation. I'm just making a point. I don't like the "you're going to hell" crap. It's not nice. It's not nice to do to someone, anyone. But with that being said, if you feel compelled to speak about something, go for it. I welcome all comments on my channel, as long as they're not mean and derogatory towards anyone. That's all I ask. Be respectful of other people. Anyways, back to this house. Now here's the basement. Now earlier when I was rambling, we were up on the 3rd floor and you saw me come down the stairs a little bit. That's when we were really hearing it sounded like people working downstairs. Now this is where the workers lived. Now, what's really, really neat is you saw that painting on the wall. That was a young boy did that. A young boy that was a worker there painted that on the wall a long, long time ago. Way back before the Civil War. Because this is where they lived. This was like their living room area. I can't remember. He has a name. They figured a name out. Go back, watch the original video. It'll all be made apparent to you there. This is Whitney doing the dowsing rods, which is cool. That's something I need to really get back into. I need to get me a set of dowsing rods again. Somebody stole mine. I'm not gonna say who. I ain't gonna say they stole them, but they borrowed them and lost them. Just put it that way. So yeah, I need to get me another set because I want to start using more old school techniques too. Using the pendulum again, using the dowsing rods, and stuff like that. One thing a lot of people discouraged against that we've done was ask things to give us a hug. Because I know Whitney does that sometimes. That invites them to touch you, and I guess you shouldn't do that. It makes sense to me, I've done it. I didn't think about it, but it is like inviting them to contact you physically. And that's probably not the best idea. Excuse me while I take a drink of LaCroix. But anyways, I love to get back to Wicklin someday. Unfortunately, from what I understand, it's under new ownership, and they really don't want anything to do with paranormal. They don't want to even be known for that, which I understand. It's frustrating for us investigators because you have something there. But I also understand if you don't really want to do that, that's not what you want to be known for. I respect and understand that. But they truly have activity here. This place truly is haunted. And I'd love to be able to learn more about it, especially now I have more equipment, better understanding of it nowadays. Back then I was kind of dabbling in it. I was just going out doing these 3 a.m. challenges, trying to find the most intense, scary places I could. Where now I like to try to find true hauntings and try to investigate them. Someone made a comment the other day. It's like, how do you see so many ghosts, and how do you have this activity? I go to haunted places. Think about it. I go to places that are haunted, that are well-known haunted locations. You're going to see and hear things when you do that. I find it amazing that we live in a culture that just wants to call people out. No one wants to embrace anything. No one wants to just appreciate what they're doing. All people want to do is be able to call someone out. Because everyone, I don't understand it. Like, do people feel so insecure that if they can make someone out to be a bad person, then it makes them feel better about themselves? I don't know. But people love to call people out. That's all people want to do. Anyone. With this cancel culture bullcrap, all people do is try to find some fault in someone and try to exploit it and try to make them look as bad as they can. And then expect them to, be perfect. See, now this is where every time I start walking in that room, something happens. That room that we're going into now, every time we go in there, something weird happens to me. And I don't know. I don't know if it's a dark energy or if it's something that just doesn't like me. Now you can see there's bars over the windows and stuff. It kind of gives you an idea of the conditions. So that's why when I say they were treated well, people were treated well there, I say it take it with a grain of salt, because I don't know. I feel like if you're treated well, you wouldn't need to be barred up, But that's just me. I feel like some were treated better than others, if you know what I mean. Because you had a house that was where the upstairs servants lived, and then you had some that lived in the basement here, which granted was probably a lot nicer back then than it is now. It wasn't as old, but still, you're living in a cold, damp basement. It's they didn't have drainage as good back then as they do now. Moisture got in there, and it's just not the best conditions to live in. It's just not. But they probably didn't have these actual windows either. It probably was just open air with bars in it. But, definitely a lot of spooky stuff would happen in here. You just gotta watch the original video. It's a good one. So we're down to the last minute, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say I appreciate every one of you. I thank y'all for being here. As my neighbor fires up the weed eater right outside the house here, I do truly appreciate every one of you. I thank y'all for all your support. You guys are awesome. Let me know what you want to see next. I've got a whole list of stuff here. I'm marking them out as I do them. Like I said, I enjoy these director's cuts, and I hope you enjoy them as much as I enjoy making them. Consider Patreon and memberships. I do upload bonus content on those, guys. So, it's there. I try to put up at least a new video every week on those platforms. But I thank you. I love you. And don't forget to stay spooky. And I'll see you guys next week.